Hello, people, and welcome back to the Teens Cast with Neye. I'm super excited to be back, guys. I want to also use this medium to thank all who listened to my last episode and have been listening all this while, sharing, commenting, and of course, giving honest feedbacks. The Teens Cast with Neye really appreciates you all. We love you so much. So that's what we have in store for you guys today. So today we're going to be discussing on the topic, the art of volunteering. But I won't be doing that alone. In fact, I won't even do more of the talking. Our guest will. So he's Tochukwu Chukure. He's an experienced team player with demonstrated history of working in the non-profit organization, management industry, Bachelor of Engineering, focus in engineering and electronics engineering at the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, with a wide timeline of volunteering experiences with organizations such as Holt Prize, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Enactus, Photo Business Club, Ingressive for Good, amongst others. He aims to constantly seek for opportunities to grow and develop. A tech enthusiast and budding XR developer who aims to transform the education system by leveraging on virtual and augmented reality. He's also a Watson Institute scholar and an ardent supporter of tech for education. So, if those hands are not too busy, let's welcome our very own Tochukwu Chukure. You're welcome, Tochukwu.
Thank you very much, Neye. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so thank you for being part of the Teens Cast with Neye today. You know, when I was looking for who my guests would be pertaining to my topic, I was looking for a notable volunteer, and amongst all you were chosen. In fact, it was actually a recommendation. So Tochukwu was actually recommended to be on this seat today as my second guest. Man, if you're not excited, I am really excited. So Tochukwu, what do you have to say to the house?
Okay, good day everyone, and I'm really excited to be here to share my experiences about volunteering.
Okay, so let's dive into what we have today. Well, so firstly, what is volunteering? Volunteering is an act of service to a cause. It is freely giving your time to help an organization, your community, or an individual. So I'm going to be highlighting the word cause, which means it could be for a particular thing, not necessarily an organization. It could be volunteering to keep a particular place clean, to answer a question, or just to offer help or render help to someone. Basically, it's an act of service. So I'm going to be sharing a story shortly. So we have this course normally, and like up to 5 departments are usually in the hall. Of course, it's a big hall. So our lecturer was like, okay, who help me volunteer to read this script for me? I was like, person beside me was like, Neye, you can do it. Like, just, I was like, I was still skeptical. Should I not? But at the same point, I was like, okay, let me just go for it. So I was like, okay, yes, sir, I'll be able to read. So I got up there on stage, having that like massive crowd of people. Like, I just read everything without fidgeting at all. And at the end of the day, I was like, what's your name? What's your department? And a whole lot of like just basically my details. He just took them. I was like, thank God, I'm so happy. So by God's grace, I volunteered for quite a number of organizations or events. Enactus, which I'll soon be inducted a full member, ALIC conference, Royals conference, Speak for Change International conference, and just recently TEDx Photo. That's really been a journey so far. Getting to meet new people, gain new skills, take up new roles, etc. So let's hand the mic over to our guest. So Tochukwu, what is volunteering? Or what does it mean to volunteer to you? That's in your own words.
Okay, so I understand volunteering as, the process or art of offering your time, giving your time for a particular cause. Now, cause in this context could mean an organization or maybe an event or maybe a community without you having that initial thought of getting rewarded, especially in monetary terms. So basically, volunteering is done willingly. It is not coerced. Okay, I see something, let's say an event or an organization, and deep down, I start thinking of how I start thinking of how I can be part of the event, or how I can offer services, or even how I can, help promote the event without thinking of the financial gains or rewards. So it's more like I'm loaning my time to help an organization, or I'm loaning my time to help a community or individual. So that is what volunteering is to me.
Wow, thank you so much, Tochukwu. Like, that was really, really wonderful. So what you describe as an act, okay, like I'll say, I just didn't start in one day. Probably I did one first and I felt like I gained knowledge. I connected with people. Then over time, unconsciously, you will not just see a call for volunteers and just pass. Not that you will just jump on anyone and everyone, but something that you can resonate with, one you feel like you can, squeeze out time out of your schedule for. Because your time will really be involved very well. Like, I can really tell you that. And then, like, one you can see as an opportunity to serve and be of help to the society and community. So I'd like to ask Tochukwu, secondly, so what do you describe as an act, or what do you term something an act? Like, the topic is the art of volunteering.
Okay. The art of volunteering, you see, is a synergy between two words. So basically, the word art can be defined as a diverse range of human activities now, which involves creative imaginations, you get, to express, let's say, technical proficiency in a particular area, or let's say you're trying to express conceptual ideas. So that's what an art mean. Now, if we are looking at the art of volunteering, now I would describe it as, having the creative ability of expressing proficiency towards volunteering. Now, it means you're coming up with creative ideas during the process of volunteering, either towards achieving the goal or making the task easier. Okay, I'm sourcing for sponsors. How do I creatively approach these sponsors? Or how do I creatively come up with a compelling sponsorship proposal, and so on? So this is basically what I would describe as an art.
Wow, that was very, very apt and very, very interesting to hear. Okay, so how did you venture into volunteering, and how was your first volunteering experience? Like I said initially, I'm not going to be doing more of the talking, so my guest is going to be doing more of the talking. So Tochukwu, I ask again, how did you venture into volunteering, and how was your first volunteering experience like?
Okay, so my first volunteering journey started majorly in April 2020. That was during the pandemic, where I volunteered with the IEE Computer Society, and IEE there stands for Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. So I volunteered as a scholarship outreach initiative ambassador for Nigerian session. So how did it start? I would say it started interesting, I must say. So I vividly remember seeing the call for application on the deadline. So when I saw it, I was like, should I go for this or should I not go for this? On a second thought, I just decided to give it a shot and applied, and surprisingly, I was shortlisted. Wow, from being shortlisted, we got onboarded, and I was initially amazed, connecting with different people, connecting with different ambassadors around the globe. I was like, wow, this is really, really amazing. Okay, so we were actually given tasks to promote available opportunities in the IEEE Computer Society, and I was specifically tasked with promoting it among student branches in Nigeria. Now you see where creativity comes in. This was me having no major connections in IEEE, that is IEE in Nigeria. This was me having no major connections, but I had to think of ways in order to promote these activities. So what I did was to reach out to superiors, reach out to community chairs in different institutions in Nigeria. I even remember hosting a Zoom session. Like, that was my first time having a Zoom meeting. I was literally shaking when I was even doing the presentation, but I had to learn how to use Zoom. I had to learn how to create presentation slides and so on. So you see how that volunteering experience made me do things that normally I wouldn't have done. You understand? You get? True. So that was how my first volunteering experience was like.
What an awesome first volunteering experience. So, like, there's one thing I took away from what he said. There are some things that naturally or by default you will not, like, you as a person will not just do, but there are some things that prompt some things for you to do, or there are some promptings in life that help you do or will help you achieve where you're going to. So if you don't start, or if you don't take that step, you will never know, or you can never tell that you can actually do those things. Okay, so can you spill some organizations or events you're volunteered for, and your takeaway as a volunteer? It doesn't have to be money or material stuff, but like lessons, opportunities, or network that you gained.
Okay, so I've actually volunteered for a couple of organizations from April 2020 till now. I've volunteered for IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, like I mentioned earlier. I've also volunteered for the Futo Business Club, and I'm currently volunteering for Ingressive for Good at Futo. I'm also currently volunteering for Enactus Futo, which you are part of, and I'm currently volunteering with the Holtz Prize. So let me talk about my journey into Hult Prize, or my journey from when I started as a Hult Prize campus director, because it has been a redefining experience for me. So it started during the pandemic, sometime around June 2020. I saw this application for campus director, and I was like, what is this application for Hult Prize? Or before now, I've heard of Hult Prize, but I didn't really know what Hult Prize was all about. So when I saw the application, I read through it. I read about Hult Prize and was like, wow, this is an opportunity for me to, grow and develop. So I started the application. Then at the point I just stopped, because I started thinking of the challenges I would encounter during my journey of becoming the campus director, or during my journey as the campus director. So I stopped. So it got to a point, or it got to a certain time, I was discussing with a friend, and then he just brought up the topic of Hult Prize, and he just mentioned something. Why don't you apply for the post of the campus director? So I remember that I started an application which I've not completed, and then I went back to the application and then I completed it. So surprisingly, after a few weeks, I saw an email telling me that I was shortlisted for an interview. I was like, wow. That was me. Like, I've never had an interview before. That was the first time I was having an interview. So I was actually fidgeting then. They were asking me questions and I was shaking. So, but the interview went well. I finished the interview, and after some days, I was selected as the campus director for Federal University of Technology. I was like, wow, another new opportunity and another new platform to grow and develop. So it was a new journey for me. What I did was to reach out to my superiors. I remember reaching out to Olusegun Oladokun. He briefed me about the whole experience, because he was the past campus director before I got onboarded. So he told me about the whole experience. He told me about what he did. He told me about the challenges he had, and then I took it down and, started drafting out my plans. So then what I did was to onboard a team, and I started out with IEEE. So reaching out to these people was no major challenge to me. I reached out to these team members. I formed a core team, and we started planning, and we started, making strategies. The topic was the art of volunteering. You see where creativity comes in. You are given a task. You have to creatively come up with ways to promote this event. You have to creatively come up with ways to plan the success of the event. So I reached out to these guys, my wonderful teammates, and we planned, made strategies. This was me starting to write sponsorship letters. This was me learning how to write sponsorship letters to organizations and so on. We also recruited volunteers. We had to think of creative ways. How do we reach out to a large population of students in Futo? Before now, you ask 10 students, and maybe just one or two must have heard about Hult Prize. So what we did was to onboard 40 volunteers initially, and then we tasked those 40 volunteers to bring in more volunteers. So at the end, we had about 140 volunteers. 140 volunteers promoting the Hult Prize event. You understand? So it made the Hult Prize event known.
Yeah.
You get? So at the end, it was worthwhile. You understand? This was me talking to CEOs, something I've never done before. You understand? This was me writing to organizations, sourcing for sponsorship and so on. At the end, it was worthwhile. 2 of our teams from Futo made it to top 6 at the Nigeria regionals, and also one of them made it to the regionals as Egypt. So the whole experience was so redefining. I learned to do many things. It brought up this leadership skill in me. I learned how to manage a team. You understand? It was something that if I just sat down at home during that pandemic, maybe I would have not learned it. You understand? Or maybe I would have learned it at a later time. But I saw it as it became an opportunity for me to develop it. It became an opportunity for me, to gain new skills and meet more people. You get? So that is just briefly about my Hult Prize experience. Yeah.
Yes, and guys, remember, when I said initially, I was volunteering, it helps you connect with people, network, you will gain new skills. So some of these skills that he had, he didn't have initially, because of that project, or that, should I say, that volunteering experience he had to experience those skills, and just get to be conversant with them more better and efficiently. Yeah, sorry guys. Okay, so how do you seek for volunteering opportunities?
Okay, so there are various platforms I go on to, seek for volunteering opportunities. One of which is opportunitydex.org, and the other is opportunity for Africans. So you can choose to go on their website, or you can choose to follow them on their social media handles, and then turn on post notifications. That's basically what I do. I just go on those platforms and then I seek for opportunities. Yeah.
Okay, so why do you love volunteering?
Okay, so I love volunteering because it has indeed been an avenue for me to grow and develop. One, I will really highlight one major redefining experience. That was from my Hot Prize journey to my journey towards Watson. Okay, so during my Hot Prize experience, I got connected to one important person, which I'll remain ever grateful for. Her name was Olivia Ogadima. So from her, I got connected to her, and then I knew about this Watson. I knew about Watson Institute. There was, if I can remember, there was even the time I helped her source for, I think, a sponsorship for Watson. I was part of the team that helped her source for sponsorship for her to get into Watson. So from there, I knew about Watson. I went on their page, I read about them, and I saw it was something really, something that resonated with me.
Yeah.
So I started following them up, and it got to a point that they organized a virtual base camp. And I was part of the virtual base camp. I had to connect with different people. We actually separated into teams to work on different social issues. And I had to get connected with people from South Africa, from India, from Kenya, from Ukraine, and so on.
You can just imagine.
You can imagine from just connecting with someone from my experience with Hot Prize towards Watson. So we got connected, and then we started working on a major social problem. And then from there, we pitched to the judges there, and then surprisingly, we won. And it gave me an opportunity to for a scholarship. $5,000 worth scholarship to Watson.
Wow.
And then an all expense paid trip to Watson. So you can see how the benefit of just choosing to volunteer for Hot Prize, then connecting with a major person, and then landing at a very, very big opportunity at Watson. So volunteering really, really develops you. You get opportunity to network with people. You get opportunities to grow and develop even hidden talents that normally, under normal conditions, you may not know you have. So that's just benefits of volunteering.
Wow, thank you so much for answering that question. If very, very nice and apt to. Okay, so there's a misconception about volunteering. Some persons feel they need that they should be paid or compensated. You understand? Is that that is meant to be something paid for, or they should be compensated for whatever time they have devoted or whatever thing they have done? As they back it up with this saying that nothing goes for nothing, last something will fall out eventually. Or even in Freetown, it's not everything that is free. So I mean, they should come with a free mind, not expecting anything. But if anything happens to pay or souvenir, no problem. But deep down, you should know that whatever, don't come with the expectation that you get something out of the program. Just know that you're coming to learn, you're coming to network, you're coming to gain skills that normally you don't have. But with that experience, you are stretching yourself, and you're getting conversant with those skills. So how do we explain to these people, and how do we strike off that misconception to people that you just have to come with an open mind? You don't have to expect everything every time from people or from volunteering experiences.
Okay, so like you said, an open mind. So number one, it starts with the mindset. So you just have to come with the mind that volunteering is going to give you an opportunity to grow and develop. You understand? So you just have to come with that mindset. And then do not start looking at the financial gain, because the gains and the benefits of volunteering cannot be quantified with money. You get to maybe you just volunteered for an organization, and maybe in the future you get to meet someone that maybe was part of the organization, and then from that little art that you did in the past, and then you get maybe an opportunity to perform in a wider scope, or to do something bigger, or maybe to be connected with someone that maybe even land you to maybe your dream job or something. So the benefits, or just come with the mindset that I'm not going to be paid for this.
Yes.
But the benefits are far more
Yes.
to be quantifiable with money. You understand? Don't look at the financial term, but look at the long-term gains. What do I have to develop? What skills do I have to build during this whole process? You understand? So that mindset of you having of you looking at the financial benefits should just change. Picture volunteering as an avenue for you to grow and develop.
That was like this a bit that was very, very, very fantastic. Thank you for answering that question very Tochukwu. So how do you strike a balance between schoolwork, other activities, and volunteering? Because this last one that happened, my TEDx photo was very, very stressful. I was really, really confused. Well, it was worth every time spent in the event. We thank God for that. Okay, but then how do you strike a balance, having knowing that we're still students, and then like we have other activities that we also have to do in school aside just volunteering? Like, so how do you strike the balance?
Okay, so how I strike the balance is by having a daily schedule. So basically, what I do is I have this normal schedule in my diary where I have it's more like it's rigid. So from Mondays to Sundays, I have my timetable, and then by the side, I have my goals and what I intend to achieve. And then also another portion is for the activities I engage in during that process of maybe the semester. You understand? So in the timetable, I have time for reading, I have time for projects, I also have time for maybe an online course. So every day I look at the activities that is going to happen in that day, and okay, from this time to this time is lecture time. Okay, from this time to this time I'll be back home. Okay, what am I going to do from this time to this time? You understand? So I basically have time for volunteering. If I have no, not even I didn't tag it as volunteering in my time too, I tagged it as project time. You understand? So maybe along the line there was this opportunity I applied for. I just put it down. Okay, I have this opportunity and I have to apply before the deadline. So anytime I have time for projects, I just factor that activity inside. Anytime I have time for, let's say, volunteering, like you said, I just factor it into that time for project. You understand? So the basic idea or the basic strategy here is planning your time each and every day.
Very, very, very true. Like, so you have to know how to plan your day, and then always make space for, let's say, for other side programs that can come up, because like you never can tell. Just make space for anything, and so you can obviously just always factor them into your plan. So just the main thing is always be prepared. Anything can happen. Okay, so what are the challenges you face as a volunteer?
Okay, so one major challenge I face is time management, because there are some volunteering opportunities or there are some volunteering activities that are really, really time consuming. Like sometime in this semester, I was just imagining myself handling hot prize in the semester. And one major thing that helped me was I did the hot prize activity when I was at home. You understand? There are some volunteering opportunities that are really, really, really time consuming, and that's the major and that's the major challenge I have as a volunteer. Yeah.
Okay, very well said. Okay, so you spoke about how people can access these volunteering opportunities. Like, can you just buttress once more on that point?
Okay, so like I said, there are platforms you can go on, like opportunitydex.org and Opportunity for Africans. There are also some platforms on Facebook, like I can remember Opportunity for Youth. You understand? So you can just go on those platforms and then follow them up, and also sign up for their newsletters. That's what I do. Maybe I see an opportunity that I missed. So what I do is I just go on that website, I sign up for their newsletter, such that if it comes up another time, I get first-hand information about it.
Okay, so like in summary of what Tochukwu has said, before he gives his last word, like there's some takeaway I have just taken, like what I have to say about the whole thing he has said all through this session. So now he said, all through his speech, I have taken that you might have incapabilities, but you just have to be, it can be possible when you just try. So if you don't try, you can never see those incapabilities as being capable. You can never think that you can ever be able to do them if you don't try. So the starting point is very important. You have to always start, then you can always discover yourself along the way. Now, reaching out to people. There's a saying that if you want to climb a staircase, let's say, if you know someone that has climbed that staircase, you can always reach out to the person, because the person will be able to take you through that staircase easier than when you are just struggling on your own. So it's better to reach out people that have done these things before. If you're to embark on a project or handle, or you're a team lead for any particular thing, just reach out people that have done these things before. And there's no crime if you reach out to them. There's nothing like of feeling too big or feeling like you can handle them on your own. It will not pay. Just ask questions. My mom usually say anybody that asks questions does not used to miss road. So ask questions, reach out to them, and I'm sure that they'll be glad to help you. Now, opportunity to network, you build your network Well, I've been saying this over and over again. Volunteering expands your network. People that you've never met before, skills that you've never gotten to do before, you just get to do them. And then you discover hidden skills and talent. Like I've said initially, you just have discover hidden talent, you discover hidden skills because you just have to do them. Then another thing, in summary, everything I've said just boils down to intentionality. You have to be intentional about your growth. If you're not intentional about volunteering, if you're not intentional to build your skills or to grow, then you cannot just volunteer or be very, very effective when you're volunteering. And then benefits of volunteering, we have it allows you to connect with your community and make it a better place. You expand your network, you boost your social skills or even existing experience and knowledge. You get sponsorship. And someone said that beyond mentorship, sponsorship goes a long way. Who can vouch for you? Who can say this is this is that? So sponsorship goes a long way. And as the saying says, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. But I'm going to take a pause and I'll ask Tochukwu, what's your advice to young people as pertaining to this topic, the art of volunteering?
Okay, so my advice to young people is that not all volunteering activities is actually worth your time. You understand? You see a volunteering opportunity and if it doesn't resonate with you, just leave it. You understand? But if it's an avenue for you to grow and develop, you go for it. You understand? If you are searching for volunteering opportunities, you take your time to research about that volunteering opportunity. You take your time to even use social media platforms to know more about the volunteer. How long have they been in the process? What do they do and so on?
Yeah,
what are the values they hold? You understand? Because so many people have lost their lives in the art of volunteering. So you have to take time, know about the volunteering opportunity. I'm an engineering student and maybe I love social innovation and I see a volunteering opportunity to work in a farm. It doesn't resonate with me, so I'm not going to go for it. You understand? So go for something that resonates with you. Take time to look at volunteering opportunities before you go into it and then constantly look for opportunities to grow and develop. So
thank you so much. So it's a wrap from my guest and thanks so much Tochukwu for coming to the show. Okay, so but before I round up, there's a saying that if opportunity does not knock, you build a door. So I'm going to wrap up by saying that the volunteering or the art of volunteering is actually the door. So if opportunities don't come and come and knock, okay, Pong Chineye, Tochukwu, I'm at your door, please can you open the door for me? Definitely that won't happen. But I want to relate the volunteering to the door. Now, when you volunteer, you get to meet people, you get to expand your network, you get to even meet, aside your fellow colleagues that are also volunteering with you, the people that attend such programs, the people that are speaking at such programs, you can get to connect to them. And if you have great skills that people have seen in you, they can always refer you to people, or you can even have direct connection with those people that you have met in the volunteering just through that volunteering experience. So there's no knowledge that is a waste. It just boosts your skill and it boosts everything about you. So I'll say, if opportunity does not knock, build the door. There's no excuse for not doing anything or for not doing whatever you want to do. There's no excuse. You can always be whatever you want to be. Just meet the right people, make the right choices and be at the right place. And I believe you're going to be a better person. So thank you so much guys for listening. It's a wrap from my own end. Signing out now. Bye.